There once was a man who lived at the foot of a great mountain. Every single morning, he would look up at its towering peak and feel a mix of inspiration and fear. The mountain stood there, silent and majestic, as if it had been watching the world for countless centuries. The man dreamed of reaching the very top. He truly believed that once he stood there, looking down at everything, life would finally make sense. So, one clear morning, he packed his bag and began to climb. The first day was surprisingly easy. The path was wide and welcoming. The sky was a brilliant blue, and his heart was just overflowing with excitement for the adventure ahead. But by the third day, things started to change. The path grew narrow and treacherous. The air became colder, biting at his skin. A deep ache settled into his legs, and doubt began to creep into his mind. On the fifth day, he collapsed onto a large rock, completely exhausted. He seriously thought about turning back. "Why is this so hard?" he shouted, his voice echoing against the rocks. He looked up at the mountain, hoping for an answer, but the mountain remained silent. Days turned into weeks. Some mornings, he would wake up with renewed energy and make great progress, feeling like he was flying up the slopes. Other days, a thick, heavy fog would roll in, covering the path so completely that he could barely see his own 2 feet in front of him. It was on those days that he learned a crucial lesson. He learned to move slowly, carefully, patiently. One evening, as the sun was setting, he met an old traveler coming down the mountain. The old man had a peaceful smile on his face. The climber asked him, "Why are you smiling? Your journey is over. You've already been to the top." The old traveler stopped, his eyes twinkling. He replied, "I'm smiling because the climb taught me more than the view ever could." That night, the man slept more peacefully than he had since he first began his journey. The old traveler's words replayed in his mind. He stopped rushing. He stopped constantly measuring how far he had left to go. Instead, he started to focus on each individual step, each breath he took, each passing moment. Of course, there were still hard days. There were days when he slipped and fell, scraping his knees and his pride. There were days when he felt completely and utterly alone, with only the wind for company. But he noticed something remarkable. Every time he picked himself back up, something inside him had changed. He felt stronger, calmer, wiser. The challenges weren't just obstacles. They were forging him into someone new. Finally, one quiet, beautiful morning, he took his last step and reached the top. The view was absolutely breathtaking. A vast panorama of clouds and valleys stretched out below him. But it wasn't the view that moved him to tears. What truly moved him was the profound realization of who he had become on the way up. The mountain had shaped him without ever saying a single word. The patience he had learned in the fog. The courage he had discovered after every fall. The quiet strength he had earned with every single step. As he looked down at the long, winding path he had traveled, he smiled a genuine, peaceful smile. The man understood then, life isn't about reaching the top as quickly as you can. It's about becoming the person who is strong enough, wise enough, and patient enough to handle the climb. And from that day forward, no mountain ever frightened him again. Remember, the struggles you face in your life are not there just to stop you. They are there to shape you. They are building you into the person you are meant to be. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more.